Hey, what's up guys? It's your favorite YouTuber, Tetra from Wind Waker, and welcome back to a brand new video. As a guy who's interested in online speech and what people are calling cyberbullying, I'm constantly hearing the line, too many people pretend that the internet is separate from real life, when it isn't. And you know what? They're right, but they always take the wrong perspective. Oh, someone looks dumb on the internet, you make fun of them for a big crowd. That's just like pointing and laughing in real life and bullying them. And that seems to strike a chord with some people. I guess it makes them think, what if that happened to me? Or someone I care about? If you are one of those people, I have some great news for you. Just like in real life, you don't have to publish media. Worried about the commentary, criticism, and mockery that comes with creating something and putting it out there for the world to see. And which shouldn't be restricted, because if you can put something out there without getting that back, you kind of have dictator-like power. If you don't want to potentially have to face any of that, you can just not have your stuff published, whatever it may be. And just as you can do that in real life, you can do that online too, by not publishing your videos onto YouTube. I think there is a huge problem with people not taking publishing seriously enough, and not really understanding or just not really thinking about what it means to put something out there publicly, especially when they put themselves into what they're making, and so make elements of who they are into fair game when it comes to saying things about what they've made. Could you imagine someone saying, "You think my painting's ugly, but it's a painting of me, you're insulting me"? I couldn't, but we see video treated like this all the time. I get why, however, I still think that's the wrong way to look at it. Anyway, that's enough incoherent rambling from me. It's time to spread some harmful waves. There's this guy on YouTube, you may have heard of him, he's called Leafy. He makes videos that kind of look like this, with a little introduction and then he reacts to a video. Typically cringy or weird videos, and he uses titles and thumbnails kind of like the title and thumbnail this video has used. And he is pretty popular, pumping out that kind of video every day and getting millions of views. One of his supposed buddies, Ethan of H3H3 Productions, disapproves of this though, and he also disapproves of other unspecified similar YouTubers. How do we know this? He made a video.
Most of you guys probably know Leafy is here. It turns out that this guy has a mental disability and has a YouTube channel. He's a YouTuber. So essentially, he has made a video of themselves crying, saying they're getting death threats, and he's really upset.
Like, this has been one of the worst things that's happened to me in the 20 years I've been alive. And I've also got a fair bit of death threats.
I feel like, I don't know, his autism just gotten like out of control.
Okay, so maybe I edited that a little bit. We are going to look at the real thing, but we're not going to trudge through it in its entirety. Most of the issues are too obvious and have been pointed out a million times. You know, the main thing in the video is what sparked Ethan off to make it. An autistic guy whose video Leafy talked about received threats from people who'd obviously watched Leafy's video, and so he made his own video talking about that and crying. If you watch the video yourself, you'll see that that was Ethan's final straw. But if people are making threats, that's on them, right? Wanting Leafy and people like him to find people more deserving of ridicule? Could your request be a little bit more subjective, please? That's not quite meaningless enough for me. Please, make more assumptions about the role of comedy, and so on. A lot of which just comes down to personal taste, which is fine. But there is an angle I think has been overlooked, and that is self-interest. Yeah, he did this to make drama and get some extra clicks in an easy video or whatever, I imagine some are thinking or have seen written. But that's not what I'm talking about. If it was, I wouldn't have bothered making a video. No, what made my ears prick up was a particular bit of rhetoric, or more like a thread running through the video. It's the part that acts as a replacement for an explicit call to action, and I think it also probably gives away some of the thought behind making this video.
For some reason, we as a community have been giving these guys a pass. Like, how as a community do we just accept that this was okay? It's stupid, honestly, that we've all gone this long giving these channels a pass. It's almost like a community made just for bowling. This is not the community that, I think most of us want to be a part of, so.
Maybe I'm biased, because I find it kind of weird when YouTubers talk like this. When they talk about community. Yes, get in the stable, little cow. Let me milk your eyes for ad revenue. You're my friend. Join the community. I had a nightmare one time, okay? But, like I was saying, to someone who's really not into that kind of thing, it looks like this guy is saying to millions of people, this is bullying, this is fucked up, and you're associated with it because you didn't stop it. You don't want to be associated with it though, do you? Right? Am I wrong? That's the idea, isn't it? Some guy's getting threatened after Leafy made a video. You don't want to be part of that, do you? I do not like that one bit. It's like guilt by association being used against your audience to get them to do something. I don't know, unsubscribe from Leafy, whatever. Distance themselves, whatever it takes to get him to change. And since that video, Leafy's apologized and taken down his video about the autistic guy, who's apparently too autistic to be made fun of, but not too autistic to sell merchandise and run a Patreon in the hopes of becoming a professional YouTuber. Just thought I'd mention. So if I'm right about the intent, and the effect is meant to have, it's worked. Well duh, HO, you idiot! Obviously Ethan wanted things to change. Yeah, I know. But I think digging into the how a bit more also gets us a bit closer to the why. Please bear with me and keep the idea of association in mind.
Since Leafy's blowing up right now, you see his channel on every related, recommended in every, video side page because of the algorithm of YouTube, and they're promoting this guy, and people are going to click that and be like, oh, this is what's popular on YouTube? It's someone bullying someone with autism.
Just think about that concern for a fucking second. Not concern about this being bullying and the magnitude of it, but people are going to think this is what the popular stuff on YouTube is. That's quite a particular concern. Why would someone have that worry? Oh wait, H3H3 Productions is popular on YouTube, and this kind of video is
It's essentially what we do on H3.
I think the dude's essentially trying to defuse a PR time bomb. You see a really sad video of a guy who's been threatened. Heartbreaking. You don't want that fucking touching your work. You find out about that shit quick as you can. Condemn, disassociate, support the guy who's upset. Yeah, we do the same as these guys, but we do it to the right people. And we have less bullying thumbnails or whatever.
This is what we do on H3. We talk about other people as well. But we've been doing this for a long time. Okay, and if you think that we haven't come across videos like this guy's, we've watched this guy's videos a lot of times, and we never made a video about him. You know why? Because we're not fucking assholes.
We are totally different. We are wise. We have experience. We're fundamentally different, and we are not assholes. Sounds great. However, some people have been saying that this is not the case. As part of picking out what's wrong with reaction YouTubers, Ethan pointed out that Leafy was making a lot of videos about kids, and it was pointed out to Ethan that while you might not have the volume, the same number, you've done the same. You've done a reaction video to a kid. And Ethan has responded to that on Reddit. Not by saying, oh, that was some time ago, we've changed our minds, or something like that. He defended it. Timmy B. This one is harder to defend, but I'd say it's more about the parents and all the weird racist vibes than specifically attacking Timmy. Honestly, in my opinion, the source video was really interesting and worth talking about because it was more than just about the kid. When he removed his video, I did feel bad, but I think that was probably more him realizing that video did not make him look good, more than him feeling bullied. And of course, Ethan was just lending a hand to help the kid realize he didn't look good.
Clean cut? I wouldn't exactly call it clean cut. He's got the hair of a fucking 60-year-old dude with a goddamn shitty toupee.
I don't have a problem with this, but it doesn't exactly mesh with the Leafy rant. And he said, oh, it's hard to defend, but he did defend it. Do you see why I don't exactly buy his whole noble idea of only picking on those who deserve it? I mean, maybe I'm wrong about the exact motivation, it's just fun to speculate. But fuck off, is he just doing this out of a need to do right in the world or fucking whatever? Having a good community, fuck off. And then you look at the rest of this paragraph, and it's sort of like, okay, so maybe we did bully, but it was just a little bit bullying. It's not our focus. And then he uses, I think you call this the Trump method. I think the people that know what we are about won't even need an explanation. Because you can't give one here because we aren't about bullying. We just aren't. Those who know us know that. And to be absolutely clear, I don't think he is a bully. I don't think any of that's bullying. Basically, for the reason I explained in the introduction to this video. But in what I suspect is his attempt to distance himself from riskier YouTubers, people with a higher risk of having the people they talk about make videos of themselves crying or whatever, he's shot himself in the foot a bit. He suggested there should be a standard that is not very good at all. The guy, Ethan, trying to say these are the standards, I know what I'm doing, I've been around a long time. can't live up to that. I think that tells you something about the ideas. And as I've said repeatedly, I think he has another reason for saying all this. However, people are agreeing. People are thinking, yeah, this is correct, and that's a little bit horrifying. Or at least it would be if I believed people intended to stick to those standards, or make others stick to them. If it being bullying or immoral or harmful is down to you picking the right person. Someone whose content is worthy of ridicule, and made by someone who doesn't have any sort of mental issue. Do you trust some fuck on YouTube, including myself in that, to be making that judgment and taking that risk of harming someone? Because my understanding is that this Ethan guy saying, your videos can cause unacceptable harm, they can be absolute bullying if you get it wrong, and you're responsible for that. Responsible for, I guess, anything that happens in vague relation to your commentary or whatever you've made. But I know how to make the right decisions, I know the right formula, I know how to take the risk. No, you fucking don't, mate. If you truly believe that, you should stop. But, as usual, that's just another one of my harmful opinions.